My dear, thank you for sitting here with me, for letting an old soul speak gently to your younger heart as we reflect together on what truly matters at the end of life. Today, let us talk about the simple joys, the quiet golden threads that run through all our days, often unnoticed in the rush and noise, but shining brightest when the world grows still. As someone who has walked many years, who has seen seasons change and watched loved ones come and go, I want you to know that in the end, it is not the grand achievements or the things we own that fill our hearts with peace. It is the simple, honest joys, the sound of laughter echoing around a dinner table, the smell of bread baking on a rainy afternoon, the feel of a child's hand in yours, or the warmth of sunlight on your face after a long winter. In my younger years, like so many, I believed that meaning would be found in success, in recognition, in the pursuit of bigger and better things. I ran after them with eager feet, collecting awards and possessions, checking off boxes on lists I thought would make me happy. But with each passing year, I found the things that made my soul feel whole were not what I could display on a shelf or a resume. They were moments. A conversation held in the hush of dusk, a letter from a friend, the way my mother used to hum in the kitchen as she worked, the silly stories shared with a sibling late at night. These are the treasures I carry with me, even now when so much else has faded away. If you ever wonder what will matter to you at the end, let me offer the gentle truth. It will be the love you gave and received, the kindness you showed, and the memories you made with those who matter most. Let yourself be present for these joys now. Don't wait for some distant milestone or for all your dreams to come true before you allow yourself to savor the ordinary beauty in each day.
Life is made not of huge victories, but of 1,000 simple moments strung together. A cup of tea shared in quiet, the smile of a neighbor, the peace found in forgiving someone or in being forgiven yourself. When I look back, I see how easy it was to take these things for granted, to rush past them while chasing the next big thing. If I could give you one gift, it would be the wisdom to pause, to look around, and to be grateful for the simple joys that are already yours. Learn to find delight in the taste of ripe fruit, in the sound of rain, in the pages of a book that moves you to tears or laughter. Notice the small kindnesses, a door held open, a friend remembering your favorite song, the comfort of a soft blanket at the end of a long day. These are the moments that will linger long after titles and trophies have been forgotten. Let your days be shaped by presence, not by pressure. Put down your phone for a while. Listen, really listen to the stories of those you love. Say, "I'm proud of you," and "I love you" as often as you can. Forgive quickly, hold grudges lightly, and never be ashamed to reach for a hand when you need comfort or support. Know that it's okay to be vulnerable, to admit you're scared or lonely or sad, because these feelings too are part of the fabric of a life well lived. One of the greatest joys I have known is the feeling of belonging, not just in families or friendships, but in simple community. The neighbor who waves every morning, the friend who brings soup when you are ill, the shared jokes with people at work, the gatherings around tables big or small. These connections are the roots that hold us steady when the storms come, and the lights that guide us home. Take time to build and tend these relationships, even if it is sometimes awkward or inconvenient. Invite people in. Let them know you care. Don't be afraid to show your real self, to laugh at your own mistakes, to listen more than you speak. At the end of life, I've found that people rarely wish they had worked more or owned more. They wish they had loved better, risked kindness more often, and spent more time with those who made them feel alive. Another simple joy, and one I hope you'll cherish, is the joy of quietness. The peace that comes when you let yourself simply be, without needing to prove or perform. In the silence of early mornings or the hush of twilight, you may find your truest self. In these moments, you can hear your own heart, remember your dreams, and find comfort in your own company. If you are lucky enough to find a place in nature, a patch of grass, a stretch of woods, a garden, or even a single tree, spend time there. Let the world remind you that you are part of something vast and beautiful and interconnected, that your worries are smaller than you think, and that joy can be found in watching a bird build its nest or feeling the breeze on your skin. You may wonder sometimes if you are doing enough or being enough. Let me tell you, as one who has reached the far side of many hopes and fears, that you are enough just as you are. Life will not always go as planned. There will be disappointments, losses, and days when you feel far from your best. But if you have loved, if you have laughed, if you have tried to be kind and true, then you have lived well. Don't measure your worth by what you achieve or accumulate. Measure it in the smiles you bring, the comfort you offer, the honesty with which you meet your joys and sorrows. Take pleasure in the work of your hands, in the meals you prepare, in the home you make, however simple. Notice the seasons changing, the way children grow, the quiet resilience of your own heart. Let yourself be grateful, even for the struggles, because they teach you what matters and make the sweetness of good days shine even brighter. In my old age, I have seen many people reach the end with regrets, not for what they failed to buy or do, but for the love left unspoken, the risks not taken, the time wasted on worry and comparison. Don't wait to forgive, to say thank you, to tell someone they are important to you. Call your parents, your siblings, your friends. Write letters. Say what you feel. Make memories. Let yourself be silly or sentimental or brave enough to start again when things fall apart. The simple joys are always there, waiting for your attention, waiting for your gratitude. And when your own days grow quieter, as mine have, let yourself rest in the knowledge that the little things were always the big things, that the laughter you shared, the stories you told, the moments of tenderness, the efforts to be kind, and the courage to begin again were more than enough. If you have given your best, if you have loved, if you have noticed and celebrated the simple joys of life, then you have lived a beautiful story. And so, as the seasons of memory and hope keep unfolding, I want to walk with you a while longer through the gentle fields of what matters most, collecting those small, shining moments that become the true treasures of a life. I hope you can hear in my voice the soft conviction that grows from seeing so many years how the world will tempt you to chase after so much that is fleeting. But in the end, you will see it was the simplest things, the truest connections that gave you your richest happiness. Sometimes you will find yourself striving, yearning for something just out of reach, perhaps a bigger accomplishment, a higher position, the admiration of many. I've been there too, my dear. I spent years believing my worth was something I needed to prove, and only in the quiet reflection of age did I understand that the best moments were the ones I nearly missed.
The feeling of holding hands in a hospital room, the pride in watching someone I loved overcome a challenge, the comfort of a familiar song played on an old radio in the dark. Let yourself notice these things now, before they are only memories. There is a quiet kind of wisdom that comes when you pause long enough to listen to your own heart. I hope you let yourself listen, even when the world is loud with opinions, distractions, and worries. Ask yourself, what brings me peace? What makes me feel alive? And make space for those answers, even if they are simple and humble. Perhaps it is the act of creating, painting, gardening, cooking, singing, or fixing something broken. Maybe it is the comfort of an old friend, the loyalty of a pet, the soft delight of a new book, or the thrill of learning something new. Life is not a contest to see who can collect the most, but an invitation to notice what fills your spirit and attend it as you would a cherished garden. The simple joys are different for each of us, but their power is universal. They root us to what is real. They give color and shape to our days, and they offer us hope even in the midst of pain. As I look back, I see how much courage it takes to stay open to joy, especially in a world that can sometimes feel heavy. There will be days when your heart is tired, when loss sits quietly beside you, when the future feels uncertain. On those days, let yourself seek out a small comfort, a favorite meal, the voice of someone you trust, the quiet of early morning, or the beauty of the night sky. It is not foolish to delight in these things. It is wisdom. The heart knows how to heal itself if you let it remember beauty, even for a moment. In my hardest hours, I learned to look for the tiniest gifts: a wildflower growing through a crack in the sidewalk, a child's laughter on the wind, a song that made me weep and then feel lighter. These moments did not erase my troubles, but they reminded me that life is always offering something sweet, no matter what else is happening. I hope you will let yourself be surprised by happiness. Too often we plan and plan, imagining that joy will arrive only when we have solved every problem or reached some distant goal. But joy is unruly. It shows up unannounced, asking only that you are present enough to receive it. It might come in a shared joke, in the way a pet curls up beside you, in the scent of a flower, or the taste of something you loved as a child. Don't be too grown up or too busy to let yourself notice. Be curious, be playful, be grateful for the ways life keeps surprising you, even when you least expect it. Let's talk too about the importance of rest. There is a myth that only the busy and the productive are worthy of praise, but I'm here to tell you, as one who has watched many chapters close, that rest is not a luxury. It is a necessity. Make space for naps, for slow afternoons, for long walks with no destination. Rest allows you to return to your life with a fresh spirit, to see beauty where before there was only hurry. Some of the most meaningful conversations of my life happened in quiet moments, on porches at dusk, on park benches, over tea after a long day. Give yourself permission to do nothing sometimes. In those moments, you may discover dreams you didn't know you had, or comfort that you didn't know you needed. And as you move through your days, remember to forgive yourself and others. I have seen too many people reach the end of their days weighed down by regrets, by words left unsaid, or old wounds left to fester. Forgiveness is a simple joy too, though not always an easy one. It frees your heart to love more deeply, to laugh more easily, to face each morning without the burden of yesterday's pain. Let go of grudges when you can. Tell the people you love that you forgive them, and ask for forgiveness when you need it. Life is short and precious,
And there is no better gift to give yourself or those around you than the grace of a clean slate. Value honesty, both with yourself and with others. Speak your truth kindly. Share your feelings, even when they are messy or uncertain. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the birthplace of connection and real joy. But people you love want to know the real you, just as you long to be known. Be brave enough to show up as you are. Let yourself be seen, and you will find that simple joys multiply in the light of authenticity. In all things, hold on to hope. I have known deep sorrow, and I have seen that even after the longest winters, spring always returns. Even after heartache, laughter will come again. Trust that time is gentle, that healing is possible, that even the smallest joy can carry you through the hardest season. Some days, hope is a song you sing with all your might. Other days, it is a whisper that you carry in your pocket, barely noticed, but always there. However it comes, let it be enough. And as we travel on, never stop learning. Curiosity keeps the spirit young. Read widely, ask questions, listen to people whose stories are different from your own. The world is so much bigger and more wonderful than you know. Let yourself be amazed. There is beauty in the unknown, in the challenges you face, in the things you do not yet understand. Each new experience, each new person you meet, each new thing you try is another thread in the tapestry of your life. A tapestry that will, in the end, be full of color and meaning if you let yourself keep growing, keep wondering, keep loving. And as we travel even further along this soft path of memory, gratitude, and wisdom, let us take a moment to breathe in the quiet miracle of being alive. So much of life's beauty is missed when we hurry, when we measure our days by what we achieve instead of by what we notice and cherish. With each year that passes, I have found that the things I treasure most are the simplest. Morning light spilling across the kitchen table, the familiar scent of coffee or bread, the way a loved one's voice rises with laughter, the hush that falls in the evening when all is still. If you can, let yourself slow down. Savor the small rituals of your day. These rituals, lighting a candle, brewing tea, tending to plants, humming a favorite tune, become anchors that gently hold you in place, reminders that meaning is found in presence, not perfection. As the seasons change, so too will your joys and priorities.
You may find yourself at different times surrounded by people or by silence, caught up in the busyness of work or cradled in the leisure of retirement, climbing mountains of ambition or walking softly through valleys of reflection. Each stage has its gifts, and each is worthy of your attention and respect. Try not to wish away any season. Each has its own flavor of joy to offer. In youth, there is discovery. In middle age, there is mastery and service. In later years, there is the profound peace that comes from having seen the world's cycles and learning to trust the slow work of time. Simple joys also come from letting yourself receive as well as give. So many spend their lives caring for others, raising children, supporting friends, showing up for their communities, and sometimes forget how to let others care for them. Please don't close your heart to the kindness offered by others, even if it's awkward to accept. Let someone cook for you. Say yes when a friend wants to help. Receive compliments and comfort with the same grace you give them. In the end, life is a dance of giving and receiving, and both are needed for the music to be complete. Be mindful, too, of the way you speak to yourself. Offer yourself the same tenderness you'd give to a beloved grandchild. If you stumble, let your inner voice be gentle. If you're lonely, reach out. If you're hurting, rest and heal. We live in a world that sometimes shouts that we must always be strong, always be productive. But the truth is, softness is strength, and asking for help is wisdom. Joy grows when we create safe places inside ourselves for all our feelings to be seen and soothed. There is an art to finding joy in ordinary things, and it's never too late to learn it. Collect small pleasures, a handwritten note, a favorite blanket, a song from your childhood. Let yourself remember the best meals you ever ate, not because they were fancy, but because of who was at the table. Remember the vacations, not just for the places you went, but for the jokes you shared, the sunsets you watched, the unexpected kindnesses from strangers along the way.
Take photos if you wish, but more importantly, take mental snapshots. Try to capture the feeling in your heart and store it for days when the world feels gray. As you move through sorrow, and there will always be some, do not let it close you off from simple joys. Grief is the cost of loving deeply, and it is a cost worth paying. Each time you miss someone, remember them with love, and let their memory teach you again what matters most, that we are here for only a little while, and that what survives us is not our accomplishments, but the love we gave and the stories we leave behind. Let your tears water the garden of your heart, and know that in time, new flowers will bloom. Hope, compassion, gentleness, and gratitude. Simple joys are the inheritance you pass to those who come after you. Teach your children and your grandchildren not just how to succeed, but how to savor. Not just how to work, but how to rest and play. Not just how to be strong, but how to be soft and open and real. Tell them your stories, the funny ones and the hard ones and the wise ones. Let them know that mistakes are part of living, that forgiveness is always possible, and that it's okay to start again. The best legacy you can leave is not money or things, but the example of a life lived with love, with courage, with laughter, and with joy. Let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. None of us do, not really, and that's what makes life interesting. Stay curious. Let the world surprise you. Make new friends, learn new skills, taste new foods, try new paths. There's so much beauty yet to discover, even in the last chapters of life. Every sunrise is an invitation to begin again, to look for the good, to share a smile, to forgive, to hope, to delight in the miracle of another day. As you reflect, notice the moments that take your breath away. The first snow, the last leaves of autumn, the way sunlight dances on water, the feeling of your hand in another's. Notice the seasons turning, the way your heart heals, the way you find new reasons to get up each morning. These are the quiet victories, the unsung miracles, the simple joys that will outlast any headline or trophy. And as our journey continues beneath the wide sky of memory and hope, let's rest together for a while and notice all the quiet gifts life has offered us along the way.
There is a grace in looking back and seeing not just what you accomplished, but what you cherished. The times you said yes to a new friendship, the moments you offered forgiveness, the mornings you let yourself linger in bed listening to rain, the laughter that bubbled up unexpectedly at the end of a hard day. Sometimes it is only when we slow down, when we let the world grow quiet, that we see the real richness in our lives. All the rushing and striving, the dreams we chased, and the worries that kept us awake tend to blur together in memory. But the simple joys remain sharp and bright. The smell of cookies in the oven, the feeling of clean sheets after a long week, the sound of your favorite person calling your name. If you can, build your days around these small, sacred moments. Let each morning be a fresh start, no matter what happened yesterday. Open your window and let in the air. Stretch. Notice the way the light falls across the floor. Allow yourself to move a little more slowly, to eat a meal without distractions, to listen deeply when someone speaks. These gentle habits are not indulgences. They are what give life its sweetness and meaning. Often, as we grow older, we begin to understand what really matters. We see how time is our most precious resource, how kindness is always worth more than cleverness, how love outlasts every disappointment. At the end of your days, you will not measure your worth by what you owned or achieved, but by the hearts you touched and the memories you made. Cherish the ones who walk beside you, family by blood and by choice. Tell them what they mean to you. Say thank you and I love you and I forgive you as often as you can. Do not be afraid to tell your own story with all its twists and turns, its joys and stumbles. Your life is a patchwork of experiences, each piece adding color and texture to the whole. Share your lessons with those younger than you. Let them know that mistakes are nothing to fear, that change is part of growing, and that sometimes you find strength you never knew you had in the very moment you feel most lost. Your story may be the very encouragement someone else needs. Find time for solitude as well. Let quiet be a friend, not a threat.
There is peace in sitting with your own thoughts, in walking beneath the trees, in watching the stars wheel across the night sky. Solitude can be a well from which you draw patience, creativity, and calm. In the hush, you may discover what you really feel, what you really want, who you really are beneath all the roles you play. Embrace that self with kindness. Celebrate ordinary days. The world will always be full of noise, drama, and distraction, but you can create small islands of calm wherever you are. Light a candle, write in a journal, put on music that soothes your soul, sit with a beloved animal, cook a favorite meal. These little celebrations become rituals of gratitude and remembrance, anchoring you in what is good and true. As you reflect, let your heart soften toward your past. Forgive your younger self for what you didn't know. Be proud of the courage it took to keep going. Thank those who taught you, even if the lessons were hard. And hold lightly to regrets. They are only proof that you cared, that you tried, that you loved. As you share simple joys with others, let go of any idea that you must be impressive or important to matter. You matter because you are here, because you are trying, because your heart is open. Sometimes the smallest act, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, can change the course of someone's day, or even their life. And as you reach out, do not forget to reach inward as well. Treat yourself as gently as you would a dear friend. Rest when you are weary, laugh when you are able, and find beauty in your reflection, not because it is flawless, but because it is uniquely yours, shaped by the life you have lived. When you look back, you may find that the things you once worried over matter very little, while the moments of connection, honesty, laughter, and peace shine brightest. Let this knowledge free you from needless striving. Let it encourage you to build a life rich in meaning and gentle joys. Thank you, truly, for being here and for sharing this time and these gentle reflections with me. If these words have brought you comfort or hope, please let your heart guide you to like this video, share your stories and joys in the comments, send this message to someone who could use encouragement, and subscribe so we can keep this circle of warmth and wisdom growing together. May you always notice and cherish the simple joys, and may you always remember that it's the love you give and receive and the little things that truly matter most.